Hello, welcome everyone to House of Rhythm. Happy Friday. Today's class is a Rhythm and Flow. My name is Sheena, so I will be leading the class today. Let's all just go ahead and start in a comfortable seated position, whether lotus pose or maybe even on your shins. And either way, whatever seated position, let's go ahead and relax the face. Relax the eyelids, relax the mouth, and go ahead and drop the shoulders, release them away from your ears, and let your arms just kind of relax onto your thighs or knees. Go ahead and close your eyes, and let's go ahead and just take a good scan of our bodies. So starting from the crown of your head and go all the way down into the tips of your toes, and then reverse from the tips of your toes coming all the way back up to the crown. So let's just take a few moments just to kind of observe to see what's going on in our bodies, maybe paying attention to how we're breathing, whether we're breathing deeply or shallow. Where are we breathing from? Are we breathing more from the chest or from the belly? Just take a couple moments to get into your body. So after you've done a complete scan and you come back up to the crown of your head, let's go ahead and take a deep inhale through the nose. And once you reach the top, holding for about 3 seconds, and then exhale through the mouth. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale through the nose, the deep inhale starting from the belly. Once you get to the top, hold for 3 seconds and exhale. On your next deep inhale through the nose, after you've held it at the top, we're going to exhale through the nose and try to make your exhalation a little bit longer than the inhale. So we're going to inhale through the nose. Again, starting deep from that belly. Once you get to the top, hold it and then exhale. And 2 more times for that. Inhale through the nose. So once you've established both kind of rhythms of breathing, I always like to remind during class that you can take any one of those kind of breathing to either build the fire. So if you're exhaling through the nose, you're building the fire throughout your practice. And when you're exhaling through the mouth, you're cooling the body down. And this also helps you to create a UIG breath, which is a rhythmic kind of uh, breathing that you can hear, you can feel it. Once you inhale through the nose, you feel all the air coming in down the back of your throat as you're exhaling or out of your nose. It's a deep awareness of breathing. that will support your practice. So I do recommend incorporating that in your practice or even learning a little bit more about it. Again, also with breathing, it's a huge part of yoga, but that comes with practice. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let's start in child's pose. So I always like to do kind of like a deeper child's pose, but some other options is to even start sitting on your shins and go ahead and folding over, extending arms out in front of you, forehead to the mat. But if you want to do it a little bit deeper, you can go ahead and bring the knees to the outer edges of the mat, making sure that your tailbone is touching your heels if possible, and then folding forward. So this is a much deeper stretch for child's pose. So in any form of yoga, I mean, besides compressions, we really should be focusing on lengthening the body. So creating space. So in child's pose, this does give you the opportunity. You can stretch your arms out a little bit further, gaining length in the back as you're bringing your tailbone down to your heels. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and bring our fingertips or bring our hands onto our fingertips. So another good stretch for the shoulders here. Exhale, release. Inhale, we're gonna go ahead and walk our fingertips over to the right. So deep side stretch on the left side of the body. And here, try to keep that left hip pushed back. So we're sending that left hip back as much as you can. Inhale back to center. Straight arms. Exhale, walk your hands all the way over to the left. Again, keeping that right hips to the back. Inhale back to center, and we'll do that one more time on each side. Exhale to the right, sending that left hip back. Inhale back to center. Exhale, walking our hands over to the left. Inhale back to center. And here we're going to do a little bit of movement. We can go ahead and push ourselves up a little bit from the mat, bringing our knees a little bit closer. And then we're just going to roll forward. So pushing up into our upper back, leaning forward, coming to a low cobra. So rolling the shoulders away from the ears, opening up the chest. Here you can keep the neck straight. And then we're gonna push ourselves back to child's pose. And let's do, at your own pace, a few more of these. Also too, when you do this, making sure you're drawing the elbows into the body. All right, and let's go ahead and come onto all fours. So we're gonna meet in a tabletop position here. Your shoulders over your wrists, knees hip width distance apart. We're gonna do some cat and cow here. So starting with the neutral back and straight arms, we're gonna go ahead and push through our upper back, pushing the spine all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, dropping the belly, lifting our tailbone up. The last to come up is the head. Inhale, drawing the belly in, extending that upper back all the way up to the ceiling, dropping the head. Exhale to cow. And let's go ahead and do a few more of these at your own pace. And if you want to incorporate more movement, I always think this is a good time for it, whether you want to send the hips all the way to the back and create circles, reversing that circle, or even taking a moment to stretch out your wrist. So stretching your wrists, you can go ahead and rotate those fingertips to the outer edges of the mat, and then eventually rotating it toward your body. And then if you want to take a deeper stretch, bringing the knees in a little bit closer, keeping the arms straight, and then sending the hips all the way back to your heels, creating a stretch in the wrist. Also too, you can flip the palms over so you'll be on the back of your hands here, and then also creating some kind of movement here to stretch out the wrist. So wherever you are, if you're stretching out the wrist or you're still doing cat and cow or even circles with your hips, we're gonna go ahead and meet back into that tabletop position. So once we're here, let's go ahead and draw the belly in, still keeping that neutral back. And then we're gonna lift the right leg, send it back and flex the right foot so the toes are pointing toward the floor. Hips square toward the mat. We're gonna extend the arms all the way in front of us and kind of pull our body in opposite directions like we're being stretched. And then we're gonna crunch, bringing the left elbow to the right knee. So bending the right knee, bringing it all the way in, sending that upper back toward the ceiling, because this is kind of here, this is like a compression, and holding that and then sending each limb all the way back out. So we'll do about 3 more of those. Inhale, let's draw everything in and squeeze. Exhale, go ahead and send it out. Once you're here, let's go ahead and release, bringing the left palm down, right knee down to the mat, and then we're going to shift to the other side. So again, neutral back, but drawing the belly button in here. We're going to extend that left leg all the way out, flex the left toes down toward the mat. Extend the right arm all the way out. And then we're gonna bring the right elbow and left knee together to crunch. So compression, bringing everything in, holding, exhale, release, send it back. Inhale, bringing it all together. Exhale, send it out. One more time, bring it all the way in. Exhale, send it out. And let's go ahead and bring the right palm down and the left knee all the way down. And now what we're gonna do is just go ahead and curl the toes under, keeping the arms super straight with a neutral back. We're gonna just lift the knee off of the mat and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's go ahead and release. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, let's go ahead and lift the knees off the mat, just a little bit, keeping the arms straight. And release. Let's go ahead and keep the toes curled under. We're going to shoot the hips back towards our heels, and then becoming super aware of how we're moving, we're going to push ourselves up into our first downward dog. So peeling up as we open the back side of our legs, our hamstrings, our calves, readjusting if you need to. Palms to the mat, fingers spread apart, arms straight, drawing the belly in, sending the hips up and back, creating some type of magnetism for the bottom of your heels to come down toward the mat. Shoulders away from the ears. So let's go ahead and walk the dog. So bending the right knee and the left knee, we'll make some movement here. And then we're gonna bend both knees, look at our thumbs, hop, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. And then once we're gonna do a halfway lift. So all four corners of the toes flat to the mat, back straight, neck is also extended and straight. Fingertips to touch the mat where they can come to the shins. Exhale, we're gonna fold. So the object here is to bring the chest to the thigh, but because this is our first fold, let's go ahead and bend the knees, bringing the chest to the thigh. And let's do kind of a ragdoll. So we're gonna grab opposite elbows here and just kind of hang out. Swinging the body to the left and the right. This is one of my favorite poses. Feels so good. And then you can either shake the head yes or no. And then we're gonna go ahead, inhale and release the arms and slowly come all the way up, reaching the arms all the way above our heads, fingertips toward the ceiling. And here becoming very aware of our bodies here. So all four corners of the feet flat to the mat. Our pelvic area is reaching or pointing down and forward. Arms are super extended here. Exhale, let's go ahead and release the arms into mountain pose. So here we're gonna open up the palms kind of to the front of us. Our shoulders are rolled back, chest is open. Super active pose here. And then inhale, let's go ahead and lift our arms all the way back up. Exhale, we're gonna go ahead and actually let's bring our hands to prayer palms. And then we're gonna do a side stretch. So leaning all the way over to the right, we're gonna shoot that left hip all the way out to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Sending the right hip all the way out. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Sending the left hip to the left, right. Hands go over to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, send the hands to the left. And the hips go out to the right. Inhale back to center, releasing the hands. Exhale, fold, chest to thigh. Inhale, palms come to the mat. Right foot goes back, left foot goes back. We're in a high plank position here. We're gonna roll forward, squeezing the elbows into the body, low plank. Inhale, coming up to up dog. So here, the thighs are off of the mat. The tops of our feet are flat to the mat. We're rolling the shoulders away from the ears, opening up the chest, and sending the hips all the way back to downward dog. As soon as we're here, bend both knees, look at the thumbs, hop, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, back up. Sorry, guys, my mic, AirPods fell out. Inhale, come all the way up. If you're already there, that's great. We're gonna do another side stretch. So bringing the palms to touch. Inhale, and bending over to the right. Sending the left hips all the way out. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, we're bending over to the left. Right hips go all the way out. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, and fold. Inhale, palms come down to the mat and chaturanga. So high plank, low plank, up dog, and back to downward dog. As soon as you're here, we're gonna bend both knees, look at those thumbs, hop, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, palms to touch, side stretch. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, palms come down, chaturanga. And we meet in downward dog. Let's go ahead and roll forward. to a high plank position. And then we're going to kind of roll over to the right side. So bringing our hips to the right. And then we're going to bend our knees and push ourselves back toward the bottom of the mat. Inhale, come back up, come back to center. And then we're going to twist to the left, bending the knees, pushing ourselves down to our feet. Inhale, come back to center. We're going to do it again on each side. Once you're back to that high plank, push back to downward dog, bend both knees, hop, walker, jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And then we're gonna sit down into chair pose. So big toes to touch, knees to touch, arms are straight, chest is open, your gaze is going directly in front of you. Most of your weight should be on your heels. And just sit as far as down as you can. Exhale, fold. Inhale, palms come to the mat, and chaturanga. As soon as we come back to downward dog, that right leg is gonna lift. Let's go ahead and bend the knee and look at that left arm and see if you can see that right foot. Sorry, guys. AirPods keep falling out my ear. Okay. Let's go ahead and make some circles with that right knee. And then reverse the circle. Once you're done, go ahead and extend that right leg back out. And then we're gonna roll forward, bending the right knee, bringing the right foot just outside of the right hand, dropping the left foot, coming all the way up to warrior one. So here we're creating length in the torso by reaching up toward the ceiling, giving ourselves a nice bend in that right knee, and the left leg should be straight. Hips should be square toward the front of the mat. With practice, you will definitely get there. Let's go ahead and bend the elbows, open up the chest, and lean back. Exhale, come back up, extend the arms all the way up, and then we're gonna fold over that right thigh. And just hold this. Inhale, come back up to warrior one, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring the palms down to the mat, send the right foot back, chaturanga. So as we come back, let's send the left leg up, bending the left knee. We're gonna look over to see if we can see that left foot underneath our right armpit. And then coming back, squaring the hips and making circles with that left knee. And then reversing the circle. Once you're done, let's go ahead and extend that left leg back out. And then rolling forward, bending the left knee, we're gonna bring the left foot just outside of the left hand, dropping the right foot flat and coming up to warrior one. Adjusting if you need to. Let's go ahead and bend both elbows, open up the chest, lean back. Exhale, bringing the arms all the way back up, fingertips to the ceiling, and then we're gonna lean forward over that left thigh. Inhale, back to warrior one. Exhale, palms down to the mat. Then we're gonna send the left foot back and chaturanga. Once we're back to downward dog, right foot goes up. And again, bending the knee, seeing if you can check out that right foot underneath your left armpit, and then coming back, squaring the hips and making circles with the knee. Reversing the circle. Whenever you're ready, extending that right leg back out. Rolling forward, coming into warrior one. Bending the elbows, opening up the chest, leaning back. Exhale, extending the arms out in front of you. Folding over that right thigh. Inhale, back to warrior one. Exhale, palms come down to the mat. Right foot goes back, chaturanga. As soon as you come back, left leg goes up. Bending that left knee. See if you can see that left foot underneath the right armpit. And then coming back, squaring the hips and creating circles. And reversing the circle. Whenever you're ready, send that left foot all the way back up and then rolling forward to warrior one. And then going through all the movements we did on the other side. Inhale back to warrior one, and then palms come down to the mat. Left foot goes back, chaturanga. Once we're in our downward dog, let's go ahead and bend both knees. Look at the thumbs. Hop, walk, or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reaching for the ceiling. Exhale, we're gonna come to our chair pose. So for this, we're gonna do an extension of chair. So let's go ahead and bring most of our weight onto our toes. Lifting the knees up and sinking as low as we can with the hips. Whenever you're ready, exhale and fold. Inhale, palms come down to the mat. And chaturanga. Once we come back to our downward dog, let's go ahead and, my apologies, these AirPods are falling out. Let's go ahead and lift the right leg all the way up and walk our hands all the way back to a standing split. So here you can bring the left hand to the left ankle and aim for bringing the chest to the thigh and the crown of the head toward the floor, extending that right leg all the way out. Now, technically for standing splits, the hips really should be squared toward the mat, flexing that right foot. But most of us, when we lift that right leg up, our hips open up. So let's go ahead and walk our hands all the way back out to a three-legged dog. And then we're gonna roll forward and bring that right foot in between our hands. We're gonna come up to a crescent lunge. So again, here we're extending the hands all the way up to the ceiling, creating length. And then we're gonna gently, releasing our arms to our sides, push ourselves up to a warrior three. With airplane arms, we're gonna square our hips toward the mat, flex that left foot, back of our neck is straight. And then we're gonna go ahead and bring that right hand all the way down to the mat, keeping the left leg up and the left foot flexed. We're gonna come to half moon. So go ahead and bring the left fingertips and arm pointing toward the ceiling, and then taking your gaze gently in that same direction. Exhale. Let's go ahead and bring the left hand all the way down to the mat, and then we're gonna square our hips to the mat and do a reverse half moon. So left hand comes down to the mat, keeping that left leg straight. We're gonna go ahead and do a reverse half moon here. Exhale, let's go ahead and release, bringing the right palm down to the mat. And then we're gonna slowly put a bend in that right knee and then bring the left foot back gracefully, coming to our crescent lunge. Then we're gonna go ahead and open this up to warrior two. So bringing that left foot pointing frontward, adjusting the feet, giving a nice bend in that right knee, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Flipping the right palm up, we're gonna bring it all the way up and over. Inhale back to warrior two. Windmill the hands down to the mat. Right foot goes back. And chaturanga. As soon as we come back to downward dog, we're gonna do that same flow on the left side of our body. So lifting the left leg up, walking the hands all the way to the right ankle. Exhale, walking the hands back out to a three-legged dog. We're gonna roll forward, bending that left knee, bringing the left foot between our hands, coming all the way up to a crescent lunge. So here, we're gonna bring the arms down to prepare us for those airplane arms, pushing into that left foot, gently lifting off the right to a warrior three. Hips squared toward the mat, right foot is flexed. And here, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna move back just a little bit. So here we're gonna bring the left palm down to the mat, keeping that right leg lifted and right foot flexed. We're gonna go ahead and bring the right arm and fingertips up toward the ceiling. Exhale, go ahead and twist, bringing the right arm and palm down to the mat, squaring the hips toward the mat. We're gonna do a reverse half moon. So meaning we're gonna fingertips pointing toward the ceiling. Keeping the right leg straight and feet flexed. Exhale, let's go ahead and bring the left palm back down to the mat, putting a nice bend in the left knee, and then gracefully coming back to crescent lunge. Then we're gonna go ahead and open this up to warrior two, adjusting the feet if you need to. Flipping that left palm up toward the ceiling, bringing up and over. And exhale back to warrior two. And then windmill the palms down to the mat. Left foot goes back. And chaturanga. So we'll do that on both sides one more time. As soon as you come back, right foot goes up. And we walk to a standing split. Exhale, then we're gonna go ahead and walk our hands back out to the three-legged dog. Rolling forward, bringing that right foot all the way through, coming up to crescent lunge. Releasing the arms, preparing for airplane. We're gonna push through that right foot and gracefully come up to our warrior three. Exhale, let's go ahead and bring the right palm down to the mat And left fingertips go all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale, left palm comes down to the mat. We're gonna square those hips toward the mat, and then the right arm and fingertips go up toward the ceiling. Exhale, right palm comes back down the mat to the mat. We're gonna bend the right knee and gently and gracefully come back to crescent lunge. Exhale, open this up to warrior two. Adjusting the feet if you need to. Flipping the right palm all the way up, bringing the right arm up and over. Inhale back to warrior two. And we're gonna windmill the palms down to the mat. Right foot goes back and chaturanga. Once we're back to downward dog, that left leg is gonna go up right away. Walking the hands all the way to that right ankle for standing split. Then coming out of it, we're gonna come back to our three-legged dog. Rolling forward, bringing that left foot between our hands, coming up to crescent lunge. Releasing the arms and pushing through that left foot, we're gonna come up to warrior three, hips squared toward the mat. We're gonna bring the left palm down to the floor, right arm and fingertips up toward the ceiling for half moon. Exhale, right palm comes down to the mat, squaring the hips, and then opening up onto the left side of our body. Exhale, palms come down to the mat, bending that left knee. We're gonna send that right foot back to crescent lunge. Inhale, come on to warrior two. Flipping the left palm, reverse warrior two. Inhale back to center, and then windmilling the hands down to the mat, chaturanga. So we're gonna meet back in child's pose. So send the hips all the way back instead of going to downward dog. All right, let's go ahead and push ourselves back up to downward dog. And I just wanna work on our hips just a little bit more before we wrap up today's class. So let's go ahead and send that right leg all the way up. And then we're gonna roll forward and then bring that right foot, almost like you're doing a warrior one, but you're gonna bring that right foot in between your hands, and then the left foot is gonna go flat. So we're more in like a triangle pose here. So go ahead and take so back should be straight, kind of folding over that right leg. And then we're gonna take our hands and point our fingertips toward the back of our bodies. So that will enable us to fold a little bit deeper over that right leg. And then go ahead and tuck your chin into your chest as you fold over that right leg. Inhale, let's go ahead and release. And then what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna kind of walk our hands over to the right side of our body, twisting our left and our right foot. So we're coming kind of like on the sides of our feet. And then we're gonna go ahead and bend our knees and go ahead and sit, almost like cow face. So our knees should be stacked over each other. Once you're here, you can stay here, or you can go for a deeper stretch by extending the right arm all the way out, leading with your thumbs, and then extending the left arm out, leading with the thumb. And then you're gonna bring both our hands together for a bind behind your back, and then folding over your knees. That is optional. If you don't wanna do that, gently come out of the bind And just go ahead and continue to hold on to either your feet or ankles, and you can try folding over that way as well. All right, so we're gonna come out of this by turning to the left side of our bodies and then unwinding our feet back to that triangle pose. And then we're gonna go ahead and walk our hands in the front of us and then also rotating our feet so that right foot now needs to go in a 90-degree angle. And then the left foot will be facing toward the back of the mat. So we're gonna do another stretch here. So rotating the fingertips toward the back side of our bodies. We're gonna fold over that left leg. Bringing the chin into the chest. Exhale, we're gonna come up and then do this again, walking the hands to the left side of our bodies and then turning onto the right side of our right foot, the left side of your left foot, and then sitting back down into almost like a cow face pose here. Again, you can stay here if you like, or you can extend the left hand arm all the way up, leading with the thumb, and then extending the right arm out, leading with the thumb, and taking a bind here. You can also use a strap or maybe a towel, and also can fold forward. Keeping the chest super open. And whenever you release, just make sure you do it slowly and also try to continue to lead with the thumb. Once you're here, let's go ahead and come out of it, walking the hands over to the right side of the body and then coming back up to that triangle pose. And then we're gonna walk the hands over to the right side of our bodies to where we're in a wide leg fold here. And then let's go ahead and bend the knees and walk heel toe our feet a little bit closer to the body. So we'll come into a prayer squat. From here, let's go ahead and find ourselves in a comfortable seated position, whether it is in a lotus pose or maybe sitting on your shins, however you like to get there. Once you're in your seated position, let's go ahead and take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Again, try to get to that lower belly when you're doing those deep inhales. Inhale. Exhale. This time when we inhale, we're going to draw the shoulders all the way up to the ears. And when we exhale, we'll release those shoulders. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go ahead and extend the arms all the way up, palms to touch, bringing the thumbs in between our third eye. And it's always a pleasure for me to share this time with you as you make time for yourself on the mat. That is always a great place for self-exploration and deepening your awareness. Let's go ahead and bring the palms to our heart center. And the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for checking out the class today. Don't be afraid to visit our website and find other great classes that we offer live. We have other instructors and other types of classes that are available. Don't forget to also check us out on Instagram, on our House of RhythOM page. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys next time.